Okay, I'm here on the Harken stand at the RYA Dinghy show with Luke Patience and Chris Grube, who are sailing the 470 and preparing for Tokyo 2020. Now, Luke, it's just 16 months now until the games at Tokyo 2020. How are the preparations going?
It's kind of sounds scary when you say 16 months. Preparations are going well. I mean, you know, at this sort of period of time now, we're kind of at the pointy end of the cycle, and we're, you know, really starting to be critical a lot about our environment and our teamwork. You know, by now we hope to be fast already. We hope we've, you know, managed to do any main bulk and equipment side of things. There's always tweaks, but we're kind of making sure that we're working seamlessly together and that we're able to have an environment where we can manage the expectation and manage each other. And so it's going well. We've had a hard season. It's not been our finest, but everything's in place to perform this year.
And Chris, is reliability an important factor when you're at the podium level sailing?
Absolutely, yeah. We're sponsored by Harken, so that gives us, you know, the ability to not have to worry about our fittings effectively, because they are so reliable. You know, we're able to, you know, get through the events without any real breakages or anything like that. So it's fantastic to not have to worry about that area, you know.
And Luke, you've been sailing the 470 for a number of years. Have you ever had any major failures with your Harken equipment during that time?
Well, no, I haven't. I mean, but I tell you what, like just last month we had a main sheet stand rip out the bottom of the boat because we didn't attach it properly. You know, so the Harken gear is staying in its place. It's how you attach it to the boat is the bit that fails. So I've managed to allow a Harken fitting blast off the boat, nothing to do with the company whatsoever.
And what do you actually do to the equipment in between races to make sure that it stays at top condition while you're racing?
So obviously between days on the water, we're checking the boat thoroughly, so front to back check with all the fittings. As well as that, as soon as we come off the water, before the equipment's allowed to dry, we hose it down with the hose, and then we spray it with the one drop, Harken one drop, just to kind of keep everything loomed up and working properly.
And Luke, is there one piece of hardware on the boat, Harken hardware, that you think, yes, this is something that I've got the advantage of, it makes the difference?
Oh, you put me on the spot there.
All of it.
Oh yeah, all of it. I tell you, no, there is. We have had issues in the 470 has jib cars, so it's critical for Twiggy to be able to adjust the jib car in tiny little fractions of movement to change the shape of the jib and keep it fast. And the load that goes through them, just because of the design of the boat, is it's an odd angle, and it's pretty loaded all the time, and so it's not easy to move. And the Harken car, without a doubt, over all the years of different fittings, for me, is the one that slides just seamlessly back and forwards. Whatever he wants, it can happen.
So as long as the equipment's smooth and it can just work at the times that you desperately need it to work, that makes the difference.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every gust and lull and every big patch of, you know, if you're looking for height or driving the boat fast forwards, that all requires minuscule changes on the car, which has led to my hip on the side of the boat, but it's essentially Twiggy's verbally changing the jib. I'm just the robot that does it at the back of the boat. And so I can just go seamless. I can just go bang bang and it's done, you know, not even think about it, and it moves, which sounds odd to say, but there are some that don't move.
And Luke, you won the silver medal in London 2012 with Elliot Willis, and you were
Stuart Bithell.
With Stu Bithell, of course. But you were preparing for Rio 2016 with Elliot Willis, who was sadly diagnosed with bowel cancer, and that of course caused a huge disruption to your preparations. But Chris came into the team. What difference does it now make that you've actually had the time sailing together?
Yeah, well, I mean, just on the disruption side, obviously that goes right to the back of the queue in those moments. You know, the concern for Elliot's health becomes absolutely top of the pile. And I have I'm able to take a perspective on the whole thing and see myself as lucky that that I'm able to still pursue something. But all the concern went into how Elliot's doing, you know. But okay, so that is as a thing with regards to moving forward to preparing for the next games is it's critical in a two-man team, to be able to have all the time together to make the mistakes, to win medals, to have a fight, to find yourself too comfortable with each other. You've got to go through that cycle, and it takes time. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen quickly. So the preparation is not only about sailing a boat together, it's learning each other. You know, it's learning each other's what you might see as faults at the beginning, and recognize their strengths, because they're your faults and they support you, and all these different things. So the preparation is just key, along with sailing the boat, clearly, because that's the actual thing we're doing come race one. 4 years is almost not enough, you know. Like the guys who are winning medals in the 470, there are some, but you know, it's rare that they've only done 4 years together. Some of these guys have done 8 years together, 10 years together, you know. And so, you know, Twiggy and I fortunately have done a few years in the boat now with each other, both when we were younger and obviously now. So I'm hoping we've built up, had our fights, had the comfortable moments and all that, and we're ready.
And of course, there are huge amounts of ups and downs in any sailing campaign. Do you find now, with that time, just like Luke has been talking, it's getting far calmer on the boat?
Yeah, I think you still have your upsets, but ultimately you need to be on the same page as each other. You know, we spend a lot of time working on our teamwork on a day-to-day basis. You know, trying to put structure to the program to make sure that, you know, nothing's missed. You know, and that we're working towards what we believe we're working towards, which is a gold medal at the end. So, you know, the plan is that you're always looking for harmony, but it's not always the case. But yeah, you're you know, as long as the structure's in place and you have sort of a time and a place to talk to each other and make sure you get your feelings out, so to speak, then it's fine.
Well, Luke, Twiggy, many thanks for your time, and I hope the next few months, the qualifiers and everything going towards Tokyo 2020 is harmonious.
Thank you. We'll be there.